Hey everyone, I hope everyone's doing well. This is day one of week 5, and this will be the last week that I have before I take a deload. I'll be talking about the exact programming and stuff I'm doing. But before I talk about my front squats, I was starting to do an Excel sheet to track my volume. I don't think I'm doing it very accurately because I had some really weird numbers for my squat volume on the last week, and my numbers as far as what I actually did during the week really didn't change that much. I added weight more aggressively, so if anything, my weight total volume that I calculate should have been increased from the previous weeks, and it was significantly lower, as if I was missing a day, and I recalculated everything, still got a weird number. So I'm not going to worry about that Excel sheet. I'm actually going to use an app that's similar to one that I used in the past. In the past I used Photocracy. Now I'm going to try Gravitas. I think that's how you say it, but it's something that I played around with it before, but I stuck with Photocracy for a little bit just because I had used it for a number of years. But what's nice about Gravitas is that it has a more wide range of the type of exercises that I'm doing. So if I'm doing like a clean deadlift, it has that specifically in there. Some of the limitations with Photocracy is it didn't have those exercises, or it didn't have the exact ones for like weighted dips. It just had it on the computer but not on my phone, so it was some weird things like that. I really like the Photocracy app, did a good job of tracking things in the past and whatnot, but I think I'm going to have Gravitas and use that, and hopefully I'm saying that right. If I'm not, hopefully someone does correct me on that. But I'm going to stick with that app for a little bit and start entering my stuff in there, and the entering of stuff will start with the beginning of this 5-week block, so getting a lot of random PRs when they're really not. But I think that app will be nice. It automatically checks if you have a PR of some sort, and I like the layout, and it's pretty easy to enter and stuff like that. So I believe I'm Jim Wink on there, exactly how it sounds. If you wanted to look on there to see exact workouts, if I remember, I'll put a link in the description so you can see the exacts of my workouts, since you can see literally what I'm doing with my workouts, but then you'll be able to see it in more of a numbers format, I guess, without having to look through the videos to see exactly what reps and sets that I did for that particular day. But anywho, so let's talk about these good old front squats. So these were the last 5x5. The previous week I was at 280, and so I went up to 285, I believe, or I was at 275 and went up to 285. I think it was 275. Now that I'm saying that, I've been more aggressive this week adding weights, and I have my notebook lying right here. So yeah, last week it was 275. So I added 10 pounds this week, which was death. They felt very difficult. I wasn't able to do them as unbroken as I would have liked, but being more aggressive this week with the front squats is good, because this is obviously a PR for 5x5 and estimates my max to be like 380 if you extrapolate the weight information from this. If you divide 285 by 75%, it gives me about 380 pounds, which I don't think is entirely accurate, but it does show that my max is most likely going up, seeing how I'm working at an extremely high percentage doing 5x5s, and that's something that normally shouldn't be able to happen. But my quads are getting stronger, which is good. The front squats, I think, very happy with how they look. Just form-wise, my form does break down towards the end, where I'll pitch forward a little bit. I'll have some random hip shift and stuff like that, but nothing that's freaking me out. These are the clean pulls that I do on Monday. These are horribly difficult to do after doing all those front squats, and you notice I'm getting to the point where it's not really a true clean pull. I'm not really raising the bar up enough, but I'm kind of getting a little something with that pull at the top. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm more concerned with the fact that I'm able to, I'm not just stuck doing a deadlift, where I'm able to really move it with a little bit of speed. And like I did with the front squats, I added 10 pounds from the previous week to this lift, and it's just 5 sets of 3 at this exercise. Obviously, I'm working over 100% of my max clean, but my pulls are very strong, so it's something that I need to work more aggressively with in order to continue to build that strength of mine. These felt really good on this particular day. They're actually, I felt a little bit in my quads, and I've been feeling that the last couple weeks when I'm doing these, which is really nice. I actually think long term, like I mentioned in my max out day in the previous video, I think they will help my deadlift in the long term, because I'm weak off the floor, and as my quads get stronger, I'll be able to use them more aggressively off the floor. And basically, if I move with any speed off the ground, then the rest of the lift I'm able to grind out, since I have a relatively strong back, and my strength is with the posterior chain off the ground. It's just breaking it off the floor. But you notice with these, trying to get down into the proper positioning. And they're not really too exciting, but man, are they a great exercise to do. I would recommend these for anyone, even if you're not a weightlifter, to add these in lieu of, if you're doing speed work of some sort, to do these where you have that little shrug type thing at the top. Even if you don't do it with correct form, it's very hard to do in a way that's gonna like injure you, but it's definitely, I feel stuff in my upper back when I do those, and it's a really good exercise in general, I think. Then I had push presses, 5x5 push presses. Previous week did 180 pounds. This week I went up to 190 pounds. These, this is the beginning of my doom as far as being able to stick with the rep scheme that has been given to me. Thankfully, with this whole week of training, I've been able to get all the reps in. I just haven't been able to do it in exactly the way that they have it displayed. So the front squats, I was able to do the 5x5. The pulls, I was able to do the 5x3. With these, let me find the exact day because I have my notebook here of the exercises. So with these push presses, I'm on the wrong week. With these, I was able to do a set of 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 3. So I was able to get all 25 reps because you have the 9 plus 9, 18 plus 9 plus 9, 18, 21. But I did one less rep. So I didn't do all 25. So I'm basically a failure at life because 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 8, or plus 2 4s is 8, plus 6 more is 24. So I have one rep that's missing. So I'm basically going to be weak forever, guys. I'm going to pack it in, retire from here. But honestly, I didn't have much more. As you see, these were pretty darn difficult. So not doing the 25th rep, I think I'll be all right. Seeing how I do extra work anyway. But these push presses were extremely difficult. They're the beginning, like I said, of things becoming more difficult. The big thing I was trying to work on with these push presses was trying to increase the depth of my descent on these to make it more similar to what I'm trying to emulate with my jerk. I'm trying to have a long, or a deep dip, I guess, is the best way to describe it, and to control my descent a little bit more and not just rush it too much like I did last week when I had my 300-pound clean and jerk, where I just went super quick on the jerk and it made me super early and took away my power and all of that. So I'm trying to gather myself more in the bottom. I actually think it helped with these. I mean, my best push press is 235, so this is a very high percentage to do a 5x5, and especially being tired from front squats. My legs were tired, and from clean pulls, whole body was tired in general when I got to this point. And these were a big struggle, and they were hard to breathe when I got to like the 5th set. They were breaking me down, and when you get stuck like that, I just didn't have any extra shoulders to do that. But very happy that I was able to do, I guess, all but one of the reps now that I'm adding it up. And I can't believe I didn't do that 25th rep. That kind of messes. I don't have anything that I would consider to be OCD, but that kind of irks me since I wrote 5x5. I should have done that last rep. And I certainly would have if I wouldn't have been so tired to where I didn't realize that 18 plus 6 does not give you 25. I guess that shows you how tired I was. My basic math skills were lacking, and I was like, oh, I just have to do 2 more sets of 3. And that will get me, well, it got me most of the way there. But you'll see with my last set, I failed this a couple times, and that's actually been a pretty common theme this week with having to take the weights off and re-rack them, and that becomes very difficult. Here, you see my shoulders randomly able to grind through a weight, which is really nice. And then here are some of the jerk dip squats, which the big focus is the same thing I talked about with the push presses, which is increasing the depth of my dip and making it so my torso is staying up, my elbows aren't dropping down, and making it emulate my positioning that I would have in the jerk as much as I possibly can. Something odd that you'll notice that hopefully you'll notice gets better throughout this week, because it's something that the reason why I'm recording from the front is to look at my arm positioning. You notice my left arm is a little bit lower than my right arm, and that's something I'm just trying to correct. It's not something I really notice when I'm doing a lift, or I think really limits me, but it's just something where I want them both to be in the same range of motion, and I really can. I just have to really focus on pushing my left arm up and not trying to push my right arm up, since it's already in the correct positioning. But it's something that doesn't really improve in this workout, since I was just dying at this point and just trying to get through everything. That they do improve with the Wednesday workout, because that was where I recorded more front squats from the front. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. Another great day of training and the last extremely heavy day before I have a deload. I have the one other heavy day when I go hard on Wednesday, but this will be the last 5x5 before I have my fun deload, which I'll touch more upon what that will look like later in this week, or potentially I'll just wait until next week until I have the deload videos and talk about them. But with that being said, hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.